Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are from. This is meeting number 423. We have given a topic by our guest presenter today, Coach Shiyama Marikar. Without further ado, I would like to invite the prime mover of the day to introduce the guest. She is Coach Mausami Paul from Kolkata, India. Please join your hands to welcome her. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Definitely welcome in this platform. Okay, myself Mausami Paul from Kolkata, India. Warm welcome once again. Let me introduce our today's guest, Shiyama Hafiz Marikar from Oman. Originally, she is from Sri Lanka. She is a life coach. She is a trainer. She is a NLP practitioner. She is a mindfulness master practitioner and science teacher. Not only that, she is a founder of Mind Facility, conduct personal development programs. She conducts many other programs, mindfulness courses for the professionals. She has different achievements recently. Triple Crown Award she has achieved. She has completed level 5 in the effective coaching pathway. She has another one hobbies, love reading books and writing articles. She will enlighten her experience about habit formation, why it is necessary. Welcome everyone.
This is time to hand over the floor to our guest of honor, Coach Shiyama Marikar from Oman. Please join hands.
Thank you very much, Madam Mausami Paul and Coach Rambabu, and all our panelists for having me here in SGF platform. This is, as everyone mentioned here, I'm also part of this family for, I think, nearly 2 years now. So on and off, whenever I get time, I always engage with people and try to learn something new. So today, SGF founder, Coach Rambabu invited me to share my knowledge with the people. So I chose habit formation as a title. So I'll be talking about how to form habits, or like what we say, when we have, sometimes we want to develop our life, right? We have to change our life, but we don't know how to do that. So today, from my experience and what I have learned from all my educational journey, I'm going to share some useful strategies that you can apply in your life. Have you heard a saying that your life will never change until you change something in your routine, which means the daily life? Some small steps at least you have to take, or something different you have to do to achieve something differently. Isn't it? Do you believe in this? This saying is actually said by John Maxwell, popular leadership coach. So what he said, I feel that it's really true. Because most of the time we focus on big things, big achievements, big dreams. There's nothing wrong in that, but changes happens daily. We have to focus on small steps. So when I say small steps, there are many laws or strategies. They have been studied and still being researching on this habit formation. For example, normally if we take, we have 4 steps of habit formation stages we see. And different studies also shows there are 4 stages, but with different names. Whatever it is, if you just consider that I want to instill a habit in my life, people have, while they have researching on this, all these studies, they have reached out to successful people. For example, Benjamin Franklin, you know about him, right? Such a popular personality. What is your secret to your successful life, or to make a legendary life in this world? What is your specialty? What's that thing that you have in your life? Or what is your habit? He said that he wakes up early in the morning. Before sunrise, he wakes up, even if he is sick. So that was one small habit that made him like sling to that habit and made him successful, isn't it? So the same way, you all know Barack Obama, right? Such a wonderful politician, and he was world famous. The thing is, like, people ask, no matter how busy you are, you're always attached to your family. How do you find that attachment with your family? Then he said that he has a habit of connecting with his family early morning. No matter how busy he is, he will have his breakfast with his girls and his wife, because it means a lot to him. So he says, whatever I do, my family is there with me. So it's a great strength for me. But these simple things we don't take much into account, right? When we think about success, dream, and achievements, results, we don't consider these things. But if we look at people like and Albert Einstein, also the scientist, right? And he says so much he has invented and writing and author, this, so too much thing he's involved in. He was involved in. So what is his secret? When they asked, he said, no matter what ever the daily routine or the task that I have been assigned or I was involved in, I take 1 hour off from my day and I go to beach and take walk. This 1 hour, it's my time, me time. I spend with myself and walking and relaxing. And then also he said, sometimes it's, when you look at that, it might sound funny, but still he says that I spend some time watching the ceiling, just looking at my thoughts, so that what it says. So these minor, micro things, they affect our life, habits, and in total, our change, our personality also can change, right? So with these successful people, we also have some kind of impression or some personality that we admire, right? I'm sure everyone will have that. But what we can do is we have to change. Yeah, it's true. But what we all want is rapid change. Immediately everything has to change. It will never happen, isn't it? So there is a framework, and today I'm going to share with you how this framework works. Before I introduce that framework, let me tell you a small story about British cycling team. Okay, this was like now nearly 15 years ago. Sky team was the name of that team, and they were competing with other nationalities like France and the European countries, but they hardly won any match. They could not win any medals or gold medals or anything for nearly 100 years. Like rarely they won. So it was a problem for that team. So that team hired a coach to train them to make a change. So what change when they asked, when he was hired, they asked what change we are going to bring here. And he said, there is a phenomenon or a strategy which is called 1% better every day. Small gains, but when it accumulated or a compound, it will give a big results. So with this idea at the beginning, they did not understand much, but he said, let us execute small changes in our sport team, sports people, so that see how it works. But it might take long time, maybe 5 years. What happened was, he did usually what they will do, they will, for the cycling team, that they were changing the tires, light tires and the comfortable seat and many other, like the aerodynamic suit, right? They change outfit, everything, like to make a better, well-equipped people to perform better. And then he also focused on something that you don't even think. Small habits, small routine changes in the team players. He checked that, he insulted that, asked them to use the comfortable pillow, that which gives them good sleep. And then he tests them with a very good massage cream that which will help them heal them quickly when they get small injuries. And he also introduced how to keep their hygiene, like hand wash, which one is the better one to use them to keep them hygiene. So in this way, he was minor, small things that no one will usually pay attention. But he was after these things, that he wanted to put this small 1%, one small habits to instill on them, so that he want to see the results. Surprisingly, this worked perfectly, and after within 2 years, his team won against other countries, and this phenomenon or the strategy was introduced, and even after 1 year, and continuously they used to win. And that by 2012, that country more than 75% of gold medals and everything. And then only this strategy came out to people that came to know about this strategy. This 1%, small changes, when they accumulated, they give big results. So when we consider these 4 laws of building or breaking habits, first one is cue, cravings, response, reward. Same thing, there's another study says that these are another name has given, but strategies are same. The stage, for example, noticing, wanting, doing, liking. These 4 are the strategies or the stages of this habit formation. Now, let me take you through this each and every step. First one is noticing, or if you compare to the normal one, it's cue, right? Cue in the sense like noticing, observation. So when it comes to observation, what do you observe regarding your habit? Can anyone answer me for that? What is your guess on that? If you're seeing a cup of tea, right? So you have to see that to feel the craving you feel, right? So noticing, or the cue means that you have to see something, observe something. It should be in your awareness, conscious awareness. Maybe you might hear the noise and you will feel the craving that I want to have it, right? So it's like, for example, if I take a small example, you just see a cup of coffee on the table, you feel that, you notice it, and you feel the wanting, I want it, right? The crave, you feel, I feel like it, drinking. And then what you do an action, you go there and you pick the coffee cup, and liking means that you are having it. While having it, you feel that rewardness. I am having this, so that the satisfaction, isn't it? So these are then what you do. Again, so you like coffee, so this get repeated. Whenever you see coffee, you have that, you notice, you want it, the crave in you, then you do. So this is what habit becomes, right? So this is, you like coffee, so part of your life. In this way, we can say each and every stage has, and we can first, if you take the noticing part, that is mainly the observation. So if you should know self-awareness about what am I want to instill in me. A habit could be anything. It could be weight loss program, or maybe like reading habit you want to develop in you, or it could be any habit. But the thing is, you should know about what do you want to instill, right? The clear picture you should know. And when it comes to noticing, there is another technique that we can use is noticing. Actually, first, let me share the study about this noticing part. I like that study because it was actually, they put it into practical. What they did was, for the exercise regime, people wanted to exercise. They took 3 groups of people, one set of people or group of people. They were we are going to record their exercise routine for like 2-3 weeks. And the next group was also, we are going to record the same, their exercise routine. But for them, they have given motivational speech or motivational presentation before they do the exercise. Next group, the third group, was also given that speech, and their exercise routine also were taken into record. But one thing they did differently. What was it? It was that they had implementation and intention strategy they use. What does that mean? That means that they were like specifically, they were clear about when are they going to do the exercise and where and how. They clearly mentioned on a paper, and they did according to that. So at the end of that 2 or 3 weeks, that group had a first group, they did only 38% of people, like 1/3 of people only continuously did the exercise. And group 2, they also almost 1/3 only, because after they hear the motivation, they do, and then after that they forget about it. After 2-3 days, they are off the track. Group 3, they had like out of 9 people, they continuously developed that habit of doing it, and they had a good results also. So what's the secret here? We all the time, we look for motivation, outer force, and that self willpower, and like, but mostly important thing is we have to specify our goal, which means that these people, that's group 3 people, had a clear goal or a vision. So first, they had that for 20 minutes, I will be doing this exercise at this time. So this kind of noticing, this level of specification is important before we instill any habit. What you get from this technique is, by seeing in advance, if you fail, what was the action you took? So you can choose better choices, options, because you have seen, right? If I do this, this will happen, this will happen. If I have taken other steps, then this will happen to my business. So you can choose better, choose wisely. That is the best part of imagining. Next stage is wanting. Wanting means that crave you develop new, right? That first noticing and then wanting. Wanting in the sense like feel the craveness. So people think that wanting happens only with the willpower, motivation. When you get it's mostly that it's undervalued or underestimated point is the environment. Environment plays a major role in creating the enhancing or the boosting the wanting factor, which means that, let's say, if you want to drink you are doing something, but you just see a cup of coffee on the table, you feel that craving, right? wanting. So if the environment is created in that way, you will feel the wanted. This factor was also, or this stage was also experimented in University, Florida. They used a hospital where they did not speak to any people about the experiment. What they did was they went to that hospital. They noticed that cafeteria, there were many soft drinks were kept, and in some corners, water also kept. But they noticed that a lot of people drink this soda drink, right? This soft drinks. And then they wanted to change this people behavior. What they did was they simply changed the arrangement in that cafeteria by replacing more water and less soft drinks. So in the 6 months or after 1 year, they saw the big difference. There are people, 25% of people and more than that people drank water because there was no option for them. This happens with our life even. With the wanting happens just because of the environment. So we are most of the time victim of the environment. So if you can arrange your environment in a way that it enhances your wanting, you can succeed in that. That gives a motivation for you. For example, let's say you want to read a book. Okay, read a book. You want to, that habit you want to instill in you or develop in you. What you can do is, when you're making the bed in the morning itself, if you have a plan, if you have decided about the noticing part is over, time and everything, keep the book in your sight, like near your pillow, so that at least you will see that and you will feel like reading, isn't it? So this way, the environment plays the major role in influencing our habits. So in this way, you can create your environment. And the next factor is doing. Action, right? If you want it, you have to go and get the coffee because you feel that crave you wanting. Same way, the doing part is, this one's also, there's a beautiful study about it, which happened in the University of Florida. There, what happened was that one professor who divided 2 groups. One was given, they were doing a perfect photography competition. So he divided 2 groups and he mentioned that this group has to do as many number of pictures you have to produce. And these people, other group, have to produce only one quality one, very best one, the best one you have to produce. So this was their assignment for the competition, these things. So he also put graded to them, like if you did 90 photographs, A level, A grade you will get. 80 if you do, then you will get B. And 70 if you do, you will get C, like that for that one group. And other group, they have to produce only one, but it should be a perfect one. So the strategy was called quality versus quantity. So at the end, who might have got higher grades? Any ideas? Anyone?
I think it should be the second batch.
Which one? Quality or quantity?
The quality.
Quality. Yes. See, this is how our mind works. Thank you, Coach Kalyani, for that. This is how our mind works, because we are imperfect, right? But surprisingly, other team won. Because why? Their intention is only on the number. The more they create, they will get the rewards, right? But this group was just imagine what is perfect. Perfect is what they cannot get into the idea of what is perfect. So they were like wasting time on perfect. What is perfect? So they were like, it should be perfect, more than perfect, more than perfect. Like they were spending more time on making it perfect so that they could not perform very well. Some they did, like they lost confidence in them, and they were like they also averagely got very low grades. So this shows that our mind, we are always into, whenever doing things, everyone has that. That procrastination, we say, or we think that we are not good enough. That is the worst part of that. Our mind always says, this is not good enough, you're not good enough, it should be this, it should be that. So these things, sometimes when you instill a new habit, it can be a hindrance for your doing part, action, taking action part. You might feel difficult to start or initiate the things. At this time, what you can do is just focus on the starting point or the initiating point. The last one is liking or the rewarding, we say. We usually repeat a habit because we feel like what the satisfaction we should feel, right? Let's say that we sip a cup of coffee, then we feel that, wow, this is very sweet, and and then that feel that create that we have to do it again, the repetition, isn't it? So liking is most important. How you can like your activity, right? We can like our activities, rewarding, like you have to reward yourself. Sometimes you will be doing that to your exercise routine or the reading habit. Sometimes you may go off track, that, what is this every day, this I have to, like, you feel we are human being, right? So these on those days, what you can do is you can think that don't break the chain. What does that mean? Tell your mind, okay, just I'll do it today. If you skip one day, just tell, okay, no problem, skipping one day, but next day, don't get disappointed or demotivated, thinking that, oh, I have gone off the track. Now what can I do? My habit is gone. Now I will not be able to do this. I'm not the right person to do this. Don't inculcate that. Just tell your mind, don't break the chain. What are the good habits of people that you also has to take into your life, or if you would like to be a good what we say leader, or just to influence others and everything, you can take these small ideas I'm giving. Be proactive, don't think too much in your actions or the habit, whatever you want to develop immediately, just think and take a small plan and do it. Begin with the end mind, that is also very important. And then put first things first, prioritize your task, which is important for me, and what should I do early in the morning. Think win and win mindset, which means that you should not think like, if I do this, I will lose this. If I do that, I will lose it. You can win life. Here, everything can be achieved. All the results can be achieved. Everything can be accumulated. But you should have the abundance mindset, win-win mindset. And then seek first to understand, then to be understood. You should develop empathetic listening, we say. Listen to people before you asking them to listen. That is, understanding people is important. Synergize, which means that you have to understand the different people. People are different and they are coming from different environment, but everyone has different specialization also. So that synergize means that we have to see the good things in the diversity. And sharpen the soul means that whatever you're good at, and keep on the time up to date, right? You have to sharpen that knowledge also, not thinking that everything is, because sharpening the soul means that your tool, whatever you're good at, by that you can save time, isn't it? So in this way, if you look at life and if you want to develop good habits, always think about the small achievements. If you like to change yourself or inculcate or instill a new habit, please focus on small habits that works, and small steps and 4 stages: noticing and wanting, doing, and liking. Whenever you feel little bit slip off, always keep in mind it's not becoming like, only not habit formation. By small habit formation, you become that person also. If you develop reading, you become a reader. You develop writing, become a writer, isn't it? Keep shining. That's all. Over to you, Coach Rambabu.
Very interesting points you have added regarding habits. Thank you so much for that. Now it is time to invite our reviewer of the day, Coach Kalyani from New Delhi, India.
Hello everyone, and hi Shiyama. It was a lovely session. I would really appreciate the minute things that you have detailedly explained everyone about this particular topic. And I would like to start with first or initial point that you mentioned, that you have to have the self-care, right, in order to make the list of the things or the regular day-to-day chores to move forward, right? So that was really nice, because initially nobody actually cares about themselves. They actually think that we have to do lots of things. They have lots of things running in their mind, so they don't have time for that self relaxation or self care that you mentioned in initially in the session. So that was wonderful. And yes, everybody wants things or results very quickly. Rapid change that you mentioned, I think that was lovely, because when you mentioned that, I was smiling here, because it's a human basic psychological thinking that, yeah, we need it quick, right? So that was nice. And you also mentioned about the Sky team. They have been competing with other countries or other nationalities, and they appointed a coach because they couldn't win over other nationalities for about 100 years, right? So that's a lot of time. They should have appointed the coach initially itself. Technique that they chose is 1% betterment every single day. So there were these minute things that the coach has changed, like good hygiene, good sleep, good that 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and the rest of the day has to go smooth. And the hygiene and massage cream that you mentioned, the self-care that was going on, actually gave them the boost to win over other nationalities. And in 2012, they have won with the different nationalities, which was a brilliant strategy of the coach, I would say. And there is this habit loop that you mentioned, which has 4 steps. The first one is cue and craving and response and reward. And there were these 4 things that you mentioned that actually is the literal meaning of these 4 steps, right? The noticing, the wanting, the doing, and the liking. And the first thing that you mentioned is coffee. So yes, as soon as we notice the coffee, I would not say I would eat an apple after seeing an apple, but yes, coffee for sure. If I see a coffee, I would definitely drink it. Noticing or observing the first thing that you see is first step of habit formation, right? So if you observe it every day, you will take the next action, which is wanting it. There is an exercise that you mentioned, which was done in 3 batches, and as a research, right? So the first batch was observed for 2 to 3 weeks, and the second batch was given a motivational speech, and the third batch was given all these 3 things along with the implementation or a scheduled plan that they followed. And the first batch had 38%, and the second batch had 35%, and the third batch has 91%, which was wonderful, wonderful. So yes, you always need motivation along with a scheduled plan. Just set a goal and move towards it, right? So that is a vision that you can follow and achieve good results out of it. And the second thing that you mentioned is NLP technique that they followed, right? If in case it is a business plan that you're going with, then you need to have environment that enhances the wanting factor, right? So that was the second one that you said, wanting. So make sure that you have a calendar or a journal that you are making a note of it, right? Be it a big or small habit, you can just go on with the reading that you mentioned, right? There is a goal that you have to set in order to have that wanting factor. And the goal can be 1 page, 3 pages, 4 pages, but make it a habit. Don't change the number and follow it every day, right? And if you can't continue, you can have a plan B, right? You can actually cover it the next day if in case there is a change in the plan for the habit to be regularized. Also, you mentioned a hospital with soft drinks and water. I really like that example way more than any other examples, because this is a research that you're doing in a big number, right? It's a hospital. You can't change things like literally. So there was this soft drinks and water, but people were going towards soft drinks more and not water, right? So what they did is they increased the factor of water more, and the soft drinks has been lessened. People then went to water more, not the soft drinks, which is actually a good habit as well as a healthy habit. So I really like that a lot. And put first things first, think win-win. I really like that one. Think positive and seek first to understand and then to be understood. We had a session saying that we need to listen first in order to speak, right? So that was very nice. There is another point, which is synergize, and which is accepting the diversity, different mentalities. We need to accept all those mentalities, all those thoughts put together gives you these beautiful habit formations. And the last one is sharpen the saw. That means you need to get up to date in order to be in the flow, right? So yes, that is a beautiful session today, Shiyama. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalyani ma'am.
You have covered each and every point from the message. Thank you so much.